Take one. I really hope you can see me. Dear 9-year-old Kimmy, 11 years ago today, everything changed. You walked into your first wrestling event and didn't know what to expect. The storylines, high-flying moves, and the wrestlers who put their lives on the line for your entertainment slowly became part of your life. Wrestling made all of the pain go away. It's funny. When you were in pre-K, when they asked you what you wanted to be when you grew up, you never knew how to answer. You always said you wanted to be yourself. And at the age of 4, many people laughed at you and just thought that you didn't understand what having a job meant. But looking back so many years later, I actually find it kind of fitting. You just didn't know what made you, you. You didn't want to pick a job that wasn't so far out that you couldn't reach it, or pick a job that you knew you weren't going to follow. You were waiting for the time to find what you wanted to do, and you were waiting for the time that you finally found what fit you the most. And that just happened to be wrestling. Although you watched wrestling backwards and started with Impact, it's great to see what it developed into today. By the age of 10, you wanted to get into the business but didn't know how. You didn't want to become a wrestler because you figured that you would get hurt too much or that you weren't really fitting the mold. But you looked at the many other occupations that were there. You picked commentary because you thought it was easy. You thought that you could just sit there for 3 hours and basically just tell your opinion on matches as you became very opinionated as you got older. Not knowing how to break into the business, but being just such a huge fan, expanding your horizons by getting into WWE, Ring of Honor, and now even AEW. You started going to more live events, more independent shows, and even more wrestling conventions. And it's funny because wrestling conventions actually helped you break into the business that didn't yet. When you were 16, you worked your first wrestling event. You worked with D'Lo Brown as just a trial run to get to WrestleCon, but Richie and Kevin really helped you get your start. From big event to Legend of the Ring to WrestleCon itself, you worked every major convention on the Northeast. You got to work with many legends, Hall of Famers, and so many people you look up to, and even getting your mentor Maria, who helped you so much today. But that was at the age of 16. Still not knowing how to break into the business and do what you actually wanted to do, you were confused and didn't know how. When you were a junior in high school, your dad told you to make a YouTube channel, but because of track and other obligations, you just couldn't find the time. You took a risk and made it your sophomore year of college. Not knowing where it would take you, it did take you wonders. Not only did you start a relationship with Izzy, not only did you even get advice from the one and only Jonathan Coachman, you started going into the podcasting world. BCP noticed you and wanted to use you on multiple panels, even clearing the all-elite panel with Bill, Kyle, and Rob. And I guess today is not the day that we shame Bell Kyle. But the three of them gave you so many opportunities. From writing with Bill with thepopbreak.com, not only writing wrestling, but even friend stuff too. Hosting podcast and more with Rob and booking podcast and just yelling and telling him that his lock of the night isn't really a lock of the night. And then there's your friend up all north in Canada. You joined Kyle's network to get more exposure, to get more fans watching your stuff, and become Kyle's WWE person. I hope that you made him proud, which I think you did. But it doesn't even stop there. The list keeps on going. You have your internship at the Open Mat, where you write several articles about amateur wrestling and more. You, of course, work with Richie with RTP Promotions, do so many virtual meet and greets, and met so many amazing people through them. You work exclusively with Ring of Honor and Maria to do Wrestling with Questions, where you're interviewing so many wrestlers that are a part of Women Division Wednesdays. And the list goes on and on of all the things you're doing at 19. I never thought we'd make it this far. Remember all the people that told us that we couldn't get here? That told us that it was just a fandom and it was gonna die? So do I. I remember the multiple people that made fun of you, that told you that this wasn't gonna get you anywhere, and you couldn't succeed in wrestling. You've seen so many people walk in and out of your lives, but that didn't matter, because you wanted to prove a point and you wanted to prove that you were good enough. You proved so many people wrong by even getting here, and I'm so proud that we even got to this point. Wrestling has been your escape for everything, through track, through cancer, anxiety, and so much more. I never thought that July 2nd, 2010 would be the day that changed my entire life forever, but it did. Kimmy, although that you've accomplished so much, this definitely isn't the end, and I can't wait to see how much more you'll accomplish in the next couple of years. Just know that wherever you go, no matter what company you start in, you're going to be making waves and proving so many people wrong and accomplishing your dream like everyone wants you to. This is just the beginning, and I'm so proud of everything you've done. Keep chasing your dream and just know things get better. All the adversity you face, there's a point of it. You're going to get something out of it, I promise you. This is just the beginning. Happy wrestling anniversary. From 19-year-old Kimmy.